There are exactly 6 minutes between when this car pulled out of a driveway and when 2 people were dead. She never touched the brakes, not once.
Every decision we make is important. Every action we make is important. Regardless of whether the decision is a good one or a bad one, or the actions are good or not, the result is the same. The consequences ripple through time and affect many more people than one might think at the time of the decision.
Why did she do it? Was it a moment of rage? A calculated plan? Or, as her lawyers argued, a medical condition that nobody could prove? Why did the police initially call it an accident? What did 93,000 text messages reveal that changed everything? And why did her boyfriend's own father say, even after losing his son, that he didn't want her to spend her life in prison? Today, we break down every layer of this case, the parts Netflix covered, the parts they didn't, and the details that will make you question everything you thought you knew. This is the Unresolved. And this is the Mackenzie Shirilla case. Mackenzie Shirilla grew up in Strongsville, Ohio, a quiet suburb just southwest of Cleveland. By the time she was 14, she was in a relationship with a boy 3 years older than her, named Dominic Russo. On the surface, they looked like a normal young couple. Social media posts, smiling photos, inside jokes. But to the people closest to them, friends, family, the relationship had a different name. They called it toxic. Investigators would later review over 93,000 text messages between Mackenzie and Dominic. What they found inside those messages built the prosecution's entire case. Dominic Russo was 20 years old. He'd grown up in Strongsville. His family described him as warm, funny, someone who could light up a room. By the summer of 2022, he'd recently graduated and was trying to figure out what came next. He was also trying to figure out how to end his relationship with Mackenzie. On July 2nd, 2022, less than a month before the crash, Dominic sent Mackenzie this text. "Kenzie, you know I love you, but I don't think we should be together at this point, especially with the threats. We should just break up so we can both find happiness somewhere else." The threats. He mentioned the threats.
Radio, there's an occupant inside. Send us some squad now. We gotta bust the window out. Send us some more units.
Any more units to progress now, Anita?
Now!
What are we doing?
31's one up.
Davion Flanagan was 19. He was Dominic's friend, just along for the ride that morning. He had no part in whatever was happening between Mackenzie and Dominic. He made no choice that would put him in that car in the early hours of July 31st. He was simply there. Davion's family later told the court they had lost a piece of themselves that morning, a piece they would never get back.
Speak up and speak slowly.
Yes, Your Honor, my name is Jamie Flanagan. I am the mother of the victim, Davion Flanagan. I want to share a small part of what we lost on 7/31/2022. My son, Davion, is and always will be so much more than cargo. He was precious. He was an amazing soul with a heart of gold. He gave to the world what he wanted most in his own life: love. The kind of love that would rescue a friend in the middle of the night, no questions asked. The kind that would protect others and honor them. He made friends easily with his infectious smile. He was a gifted athlete. He had plans to go to barber school and open his own shop. My son did not have a clique of friends, but instead was a friend to all. He would go out of his way to show love and kindness to others, including those that were often cast aside by society, the less fortunate, the developmentally challenged, the hurting, and the unvalued. Davion made sure that everyone that crossed his path knew that he truly saw them, that he valued them, and that they were worth his time. Davion and my kids have had more than their fair share of heartbreak, of hardship, and of loss.
According to friends who testified in court, the night of July 30th into July 31st was unremarkable.
Discovery. I have received an offer from the defense, and my supervisors marked this file. The state's proposed resolution to the case would be for the defendant to plead guilty to counts 3, 4, and 11 as charged. Counts 3 and 4 are both titled murder. They are murder B under 2903.02B. Count 11 is drug possession of felony of the 5th degree under 2925.11A. It's my understanding the defense is not interested in a plea at this time, and we are set for trial August 7th.
Mackenzie, Dominic, and Davion had been at a friend's place. What witnesses described as a normal sleepover. They were smoking marijuana. Nobody described any unusual argument. No red flags that stood out in the moment. At 5:30 in the morning, Davion's Live 360 data shows the group leaving. Mackenzie was driving. Dominic in the passenger seat. Davion in the back. They were heading to Dominic's home, just minutes away. They never arrived. Surveillance cameras captured everything. At first, the car moves normally. Then it turns down one particular road in a corporate park, and everything changes. A certified forensic mechanic testified in court that the car's event data recorder, its black box, showed something unambiguous. The accelerator pedal was being pushed down at full capacity. There was zero brake application, not a hesitation, not a tap, nothing. The car hit the brick wall of the Plidco building in Strongsville at 100 miles per hour. Dominic Russo and Davion Flanagan were pronounced dead at the scene. A passerby found the wreckage 45 minutes later and called 911.
Appreciate you giving us a call.
Yeah. Someone in it, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So.
That's a bummer. I didn't want to get stuck, and I'm like, I ain't fucking. I don't know what's going on.
Right. No, I appreciate you giving us a call. Absolutely appreciate it.
They fucking were hitting it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, because I saw that front end.
They definitely hit it hard.
Fucking
So.
destroyed.
Right.
All right. Well, what a way to start your Sunday. I guess better than theirs. Huh?
Right. I appreciate the call, sir. Thank you.
Mackenzie was pulled unconscious from the driver's seat. She was not breathing. She was airlifted to the hospital. And when investigators later examined exactly how she was found, they noted something that would become one of the most discussed details of the case. Her fuzzy Prada slipper was still pressed flat against the accelerator pedal. Officers arrived to a scene of devastation. Bodycam footage captures the shock on their faces as they pieced together what had happened.
Radio, we got at least 2 occupants in here. No one's moving. Oh my God. Oh my God. Times 3, guys. Radio, 3 occupants. No one's conscious. No one's breathing.
I copy.
Bust that window out. Rookie. Oh my God, dude. Who can hear my voice? Drivers, radio, the driver is breathing unconscious.
I copy.
One officer is heard calling it the worst crash scene he'd encountered in his career. Initially, and this matters, police treated the crash as a tragic accident. A 17-year-old girl, a late-night drive, a terrible outcome. It happened. But one detail nagged at investigators. The data from the black box didn't add up with an accident. An unconscious driver doesn't accelerate. A driver who blacks out doesn't maintain full throttle all the way into a wall. They started digging, and when they did, they found 93,000 reasons why this was not an accident at all. Let's walk through the timeline, because the texts didn't just show a troubled relationship, they showed a pattern. August 2021. Dominic accuses Mackenzie of threatening to stab him in the eye after he made a joke she didn't like. In her reply, she said, and I quote, "Maybe if you just had my back, you wouldn't be threatened." March 2022. Dominic sends her this, "You didn't let me out of the car and then hit me and pulled my hair, then tried to throw a rock at me and threatened to call the cops on me and key my car." And then, in the same exchange, he told her he couldn't move on unless she promised. And I'm reading directly from the messages. "She won't try to ruin my life, key my car, or screw up my house." Now we arrive at the most chilling piece of pre-crash evidence. 2 weeks before July 31st. Exactly 2 weeks before. Mackenzie and Dominic got into a heated argument while in the car together. A witness, Deanna Fausnight, later told investigators she overheard Mackenzie say these exact words, "I will crash this car right now." Dominic got out of the vehicle. The situation dissolved. He was picked up by a friend. 2 weeks later, she was behind that wheel again. On July 2nd, Dominic sent Mackenzie a message trying to end things. He wrote, "Kenzie, I don't think we should be together. There isn't very much time on Earth. We should just break up so we can both find happiness somewhere else." But then, days later, in a move that would prove tragic, he reversed course. He texted her again. He said he loved her. He said he was sorry they were fighting. The relationship continued. The threats continued. And on July 31st, 2022, at 5:31 in the morning, it ended in the most violent way imaginable. Prosecutors summarized those 93,000 messages in 6 words. She had a mission, and the mission was death.
The proposed resolution of the case would be for the defendant to plead guilty to counts 3, 4, and 11 as charged. Counts 3 and 4 are both titled murder. They are murder B under 2903.02B. Count 11 is drug possession of felony of the 5th degree under 2925.11A. That's my understanding. The defense is not interested in a plea at this time, and we are set for trial August 7th.
While the Russo and Flanagan families were planning funerals, Mackenzie Shirilla was in hospital posting TikToks, videos of herself in a hospital gown, wearing a flower in her hair, being wheeled out in a wheelchair. Her 18th birthday, celebrated with balloons and flowers, filmed and posted. She and her mother reportedly continued pitching to a fashion brand in the days immediately following the crash. A prior TikTok post that had been on her account before the crash resurfaced and spread widely. It read, "I'm just one of those girls that can do a lot of drugs and not die." After months of investigation, Mackenzie Shirilla was arrested in November 2022. She was charged with 4 counts of murder, 4 counts of felonious assault, and 2 counts of aggravated vehicular homicide. Newly released bodycam footage from that arrest shows the moment an officer approached the police vehicle where Shirilla was sitting in handcuffs. He informed her she was under arrest for aggravated murder, ×2. Her first response was not about the charges. It was not about Dominic. It was not about Davion. She said, "Could you please be careful taking this off so it doesn't break the bracelet?" Her bracelet. That was her concern. Prosecutors would later describe this moment as evidence of a shocking lack of remorse.
Where's she? Right back there, pal. Hi, Mackenzie. Step out for me. I'm Detective Jesus. I'm the one who's been investigating the crash. You're under arrest for aggravated murder ×2, okay? Nobody's gonna ask you any questions. Nobody's gonna bother you. Can I have your key, please?
Could you please be careful taking this one off so it doesn't break the bracelet, please?
You got it. You got it.
No. Thank you.
You got it. Okay, just keep your hands right here. You're not gonna tighten these, okay?
Her defense team said it was shock and trauma. Mackenzie Shirilla pleaded not guilty. Her defense team made a calculated decision. They opted for a bench trial, meaning no jury, and chose not to put Mackenzie on the stand. Their strategy rested almost entirely on one argument. In 2017, Mackenzie had been diagnosed with POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. It's a blood circulation disorder that can, in some cases, cause lightheadedness and brief blackouts. Her mother testified that Mackenzie had fainted before, on multiple occasions. Mackenzie's own words in the Netflix documentary. With POTS, you just black out. It can happen very fast. It comes out of nowhere. She said she had no memory of the moments before impact. She described herself as, quote, a driver of a tragedy, not a murderer. But there were 3 problems with the POTS defense, and they were fatal to the case. First, the car's event data recorder showed the accelerator was pressed to full capacity through the entire approach to the wall. A person who is blacked out cannot maintain full throttle for that duration. The foot would go limp. Second, surveillance footage showed the car making controlled turns in the seconds before impact, not the erratic movement of a vehicle with an unconscious driver. Third, and perhaps most damaging, the defense never produced a single medical professional who could testify that Mackenzie had actually suffered a POTS episode on the night of the crash. Not one. As prosecutor Tim Troop put it, there was no proof. There was only the claim. Assistant prosecutor Tim Troop laid out the case methodically. This was not, he told the court, a party gone wrong. This was not reckless driving. This was murder.
I'm not even cool. I'm just one of those girls that can do a lot of drugs and not die. Gotta figure like a pin, I've gotta figure like a doll. Don't care if you think I'm dumb, I don't care at all. Can't eat best, sweetie, if I wanna be adored. I'm the girl you die for.
Objection, Judge, none of this is introduced in the trial.
Shortly after the crash, Strongsville police were notified that they had received concerning emails from the community.
The evidence. 93,000 text messages documenting escalating threats. A prior verbal threat to crash the car with Dominic inside. Just 2 weeks before. Full throttle acceleration. 0 brake input. A deliberately chosen time. 5:30 in the morning, when traffic would be minimal. There is no doubt, Troop said, that this happened because of the relationship with Dominic, and the defendant's intent was clearly to end that, and she took everybody that was in the car with her. Before the verdict, the families of Dominic Russo and Davion Flanagan addressed the court. Their words were devastating, and they were documented in full by court reporters. The Russo family spoke about a son who would never come home. The Flanagan family spoke about a young man who had simply been in the wrong car.
Small part of what we lost on 7/31/2022. My son Davion is and always will be so much more than cargo. He was precious. He was an amazing soul with a heart of gold. He gave to the world what he wanted most in his own life: love. The kind of love that would rescue a friend in the middle of the night, no questions asked. The kind that would protect others and honor them. He made friends easily with his infectious smile. He was a gifted athlete. He had plans to go to barber school and open his own shop. My son did not have a clique of friends, but instead was a friend to all. He would go out of his way to show love and kindness to others, including those that were often cast aside by society.
And then, in a moment that surprised even those following the case closely, Dominic's own father said something unexpected. He said he did not want Mackenzie to spend the rest of her life in prison. He said it wasn't going to bring his son back. He called her a kid who did a damn stupid thing. On August 14th, 2023, Judge Nancy Margaret Russo, no relation to Dominic Russo, delivered her verdict. Mackenzie Shirilla had been found guilty, all 12 counts, 4 counts of murder, 4 counts of felonious assault, 2 counts of aggravated vehicular homicide, 1 count of drug possession, 1 count of possessing criminal tools. And then, Judge Russo delivered a statement that would define the public's understanding of this case forever. Judge Russo described Shirilla's actions as, quote, controlled, methodical, deliberate, intentional, and purposeful. She called her literal hell on wheels. She sentenced her to 15 years to life. Judge Russo described Shirilla's actions as, quote, controlled, methodical, deliberate, intentional, and purposeful. She called her literal hell on wheels. She sentenced her to 15 years to life.
It'll be up to you to a great extent. I understand that the pain in this room wants me to impose the harshest sentence. But I don't believe that would be the appropriate sentence, because I do believe that Mackenzie will not be out at 15 years. So she's sentenced on count 2, the murder of Davion Flanagan, 15 years to life. She's sentenced on count 1, the murder of Dominic Russo, 15 years to life, to be served concurrent to each other, with credit for time served. I'll waive fines, fees, and costs, and your appellate counsel will be assigned. Are there any questions from the state?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Mackenzie Shirilla broke down in tears as the verdict was read. She is currently 21 years old. She is housed at the Ohio Reformatory for Women in Marysville. She will be eligible for parole in 2037. In 2024, Mackenzie's legal team filed an appeal, 1 day late. Her lawyers actually argued that because 2024 was a leap year, she should have been given an extra day. The Ohio Court of Appeals disagreed. The case was dismissed for missing the 365-day window. One of the most revealing details in the newly released police files. Mackenzie had been texting Dominic about blackout episodes weeks before July 31st. On July 2nd, the same day he sent his breakup text, she described what she called her worst blackout to him. Her defense team later argued this proved she had a genuine medical condition. The prosecution argued it proved she knew how to use that claim as a shield. Newly released jailhouse phone calls include a moment where Mackenzie is heard laughing about her prison nickname, Shirilla the Killer. In another call with her mother, she told her, and this is documented, that she didn't need to be rehabilitated. She was also heard complaining about jail food and begging for an iPad. Reports from 2023 indicated that Mackenzie Shirilla expressed interest in becoming a life coach after her prison sentence.
Where you were going.
Yes, that's
It's disgusting. It's disgusting, and if it goes south, you're getting framed, and we'll just have to appeal it.
And then I'm gonna be done with my video call.
I just want to take her time.
Well, it's gonna be I want to talk to you too, but I'm saying I'll see you outside and shit. And the later you come at 8:30, it'll probably be dark.
Yeah. So what I can do is I'll text your mom, see if I can come over there for like a little bit, say hi to you.
The Russo and Flanagan families were not informed of this report in advance of it being made public. As of 2026, Mackenzie Shirilla's lawyers have asked the Ohio Supreme Court to review her case, arguing that her original trial attorneys failed to properly investigate the POTS evidence. The Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office has stated publicly that they are confident any court reviewing this case will reach the same conclusion. she is guilty. The Ohio Supreme Court has not yet issued a ruling, which means, for the Russo and Flanagan families, this case is still not fully closed. Two young men got into a car in the early hours of July 31st, 2022. They had no reason to believe they wouldn't make it home. One was trying to end a relationship. The other was just along for the ride. What happened on that road, at 100 miles per hour, in the dark, with no brakes applied, was ruled, beyond any doubt, to be murder. A judge said so. A mountain of evidence said so. What Mackenzie Shirilla thought in those final seconds, only she knows. Dominic Russo was 20. Davion Flanagan was 19. They deserved better than how this story ended. This has been The Unresolved. If you want the truth, not just the headlines, subscribe. New cases every week. Links to our sources are in the description.